So we've got these three scores, and the thing that we're learning as we're getting into algebra, especially with my advanced math group, but my regular math group seeing it a little bit as well, is anytime there's something that you don't know, you can always put in a variable. They use n. You can use really any letter that you would like to represent the score on that fourth test. Now, how do you find an average? There's
You add up, divide by how many numbers.
all right, exactly. We add up all the numbers and divide by how many numbers there are. So if we were just to do that with the first three tests, then we would have 88 plus 92 plus 94 divided by 3, right? So her current average, if we do this, is, let's see, 88 plus 92 plus 94 gives me 274 divided by 3 gives me 91.3 repeating, or 91 and 1/3 if you put it in fraction form. So this would be the score that she currently has, and she wants to raise it to a 92. So she's not going to need to bring it up by much, right? So algebraically, the way we can do this is we can put in the fourth value. So we have 88 plus 92 plus 94 plus some unknown value divided by 4. Now obviously I can't do that because I don't, why does the rest, there it is. So I can't do this right now because I don't know what n is, but there's one more bit of information that we know here. What do we know? The average, right? We are, this time we're not looking at, here's the number, what is the average? Here we're saying, if I have these numbers plus one more, and I want my average to be 92, then what does that last number have to be? So you can work the equation like this. Now, we can add these together still, right? They're just numbers. 88 plus 92 plus 94. I can do that, right? In fact, I just did it just a second ago. It was 274. So I have 274 plus n divided by 4 equals 92. Now, here's the place where my advanced math is going to be more comfortable. My regular math people, y'all got to hang tight with me here. Now, when we're solving an equation, we do everything in the reverse order, right? Reverse order of operations. So if I knew what n is, what's the first thing I would do over here? I would add first, right? Anytime your division bar is it's a bar, then you treat it like parentheses. You do what's on top and then you divide last, right? So since that's what I do last, that's the first thing I'm going to undo. So I'm going to get rid of the division by, so I'm going to multiply by 4 and multiply by 4. Because if this divided by 4 is this, then that would be 4 times whatever that is, right? So I'm just going to multiply by 4. So I'll get 274 plus n equals 92 times 4, which is 368. Now I just have a one-step equation. I have n plus this number, so I need to subtract 274 from both sides. And 368 minus 274 gives me 94. So if she wanted to pull her average up to a 92, then she needs her last test grade to be a 94. Anything below that, her average won't be a 92. Anything above that, it'll be greater than 92, right? Now, obviously, this is only if she wants it to be 92 exactly. I mean, technically, she could get 91.5 and it would round up to 92. But if we were just looking at she wants it to be 92.000, you know, exactly 92, then she would need to get a 94 on that last test, right? All right. So And this, again, if you're looking at ways that math actually applies to life, this is a very useful tool when you guys get into, especially into college, but even into high school, and you're coming up on that final exam, and maybe your grade isn't quite what you want in that class. If you know how to do averages, you can figure out, what do I need to make on this last test in order to, make an A in this class or a B in this class or whatever your goal grade is. You're going to say, okay, if I need to pull my grade up by this much, what do I need to make on the test? So, now, this is not the only way you can do this. If you have trouble following the equation way, you can also think about it this way, which is a little lengthier, but again, my advanced math probably has no problem with the equation way. My regular math, y'all aren't as used to working with equations. So if you think about it this way, we've got 88, 92, and 94, and some additional number. And we want them to average out to be 92, right? So that means this one I need 4 extra, right? This one is good, just like it is. This one I need 2 less, right? So basically, and then I want to have 92 as the average. So let's just say I make that last one 92 for right now. If I need to add 4 to this one, that means I need to get that 4 from somewhere else, right? And remember, averaging just means you're evening things out. So if you think about it, if I need 4 additional points, then that means we could think of, we could think of this 4 as being added on to the 92 that we need, right? If I need 4 additional points there, we're just going to tack those extra 4 on to this one, make it 4 bigger. But this one needs 2 less, and that one's just fine as it is. So if we start with, okay, that one's going to be 92, but I need 4 more because I'm going to have to give them to this one that's too small. But I really need 2 less for this one. So 92 plus 4 is 96 minus 2 is 94, which is the exact same thing we got by doing the equation. It's just a different way to think about it. So let's look at another one this way. Let's say that the ages of people in this school, we just survey randomly and we get So let's say that we want to know if I have 6 people, and these are their ages, and I want the average age to be, of this group, to be 12. So we need to know what the last age would be, right? Now again, I could set it up as an equation. I could write 13 plus 12 plus 12 plus 11 plus 14 plus 13 plus n, and divide that by the 7 scores that there are. Or we can look at it as this one needs to be 1 smaller, right? This one's fine as is, this one's fine as is, this one needs to be 1 bigger, this one needs to be 2 smaller, this one needs to be 1 smaller, and we want our average to be 12. So if I set it at, okay, that one's 12, but I need 1 less because of this one, I need 2 less because of this one, I need 1 more because of this one, and 1 less because of that one. So then I have 12 minus 1 plus 1, oops, minus 2 minus 1. So 12 minus 1 is, plus another 1 is, minus 2 is, minus another 1 is 9. So this last score would really need to be a 9. And remember, you can always check your answer. 13 plus 12 plus 12 plus 11 plus 14 plus 13 plus 9. Right? And then divide that by 7, because there's 7 numbers, right? So if we do that, 13 plus 12 plus 12 plus 11 plus 14 plus 13 plus 9 gives me 84. And if I divide that by 7, it gives me 12, which is what I wanted the average to be, right? So that's another option. So you can either do it by an equation, and in the instructions it says use an equation, but again, my regular math people, y'all aren't as used to using equations, so you can definitely feel free to do it this other way. So what I want you to do now is go ahead, well, actually let's talk about example number 2 as well.
Put these.
Just set them on my desk. Thank you. Alright, so the second example says the mean temperature in an area is 74 degrees Fahrenheit. So the average is 74 degrees. And it says the sum of the temperatures is 2,516. How many temperatures are in the set? Allie, can you put that away? Now, the thing we need to understand, and this is where a lot of students get messed up, but what does the average mean?
If it was all spread out.
Right. If everything is the same, this is what they'd be, right? Which means if the average temperature is 74 degrees Fahrenheit, that means that I have obviously some of the temperatures are going to be higher and some are going to be lower. But if I even them all out, then every single temperature would be 74, right? So I'd have 74 plus 74 plus 74 plus 74 however many times, right? Which is 74 times however many temperatures there were in the set. And we know that the sum, in other words, if I add them all up, 74 plus however many temperatures there are, it should equal 2,516. And since we don't know how many they are, but I know if there are 20 temperatures, I'm going to have 74 added together 20 times, right? If there are 12 temperatures, then I'm going to have 74 added together 12 times, right? Everyone with me? So we can do 74 times in however many temperatures there are, and that should equal our 2,516. And then you can just divide to find out what your n is. Same thing with number 3. It says the mean of 25 prices is this price, $11.40. That means each price, you could set every single one of those 25 prices to be $11.40. Remember, these questions are more about, do you understand that the mean means if everything is the same, this is what they are. Okay? So it's not just, do you know to add them all up and divide by the number? It's, do you understand that that means that if it's the mean, then you could say every single one's the same. Okay? If I looked at that last group of students, is everyone actually 12 years old? No. But if I took the older ones and I said, oh, I'm going to take 1 year off of your life and give it to the younger ones, and I even them all out, then they would all be 12 years old, right? That's what the average is doing. So for questions 2 and 3, you need to make sure that you understand that, hey, if this is the average, then that means every single one in the set could have that same value. All right, so go ahead and answer questions 1, 2, and 3. If you don't finish them in class, they are homework. You may use calculators for them. Make sure and show your work so that I know how you got to your answer. You can use an equation or you can use the other method that I showed you, whichever one you're more comfortable with.